Hello and welcome back. I'm back again with Steiner, and we have another podcast with no topics, and we're just gonna ramble.
Yep.
Hopefully, this set of rambling goes better than other sets.
So
Okay, you said you were gonna talk about something, Steiner. What was your talking point?
we are going to talk about. Actually, I got a couple funny things. Number one is Rogers. There's a
Okay.
little new update that
Let's hear it.
he technically has to choose a team. He has to say whether he's going to stay or leave by July 27th.
Really,
100% he has to make a choice.
really,
Yes.
wow.
'Cause that's-
I can't imagine many other people getting to that point where they need to say what team if they're going to be on the team or not.
And the reason that is because if he needs to get a trade, then there's still just enough time for him to get out there and get traded. But the problem is if they don't get him out there, and if he Left decides to stay at the Packers, we can't keep the same exact offense as last year.
Yeah,
So we would have to change it up a little bit. And if he can't learn the plays because he's not there, I mean, he has to somewhat know the plays. And for the July 27th, he really does not have that long. Late August is when, actually, I think it's early August is when the preseason happens.
really.
And, yeah, and even Rodgers needs to be kind of coaching Love if he would stay. So
He still hasn't shown up to any of the minicamp or any of the. Wow, how many fines is that total up to? Do you know?
I think overall it was he could just pay a flat out fee of $304.
Jesus Christ! Imagine being a little brat and costing yourself $304,000.
But I mean, he made probably
Yeah,
the same amount of money on just sponsorships in that one golf tournament with
it's
Brady.
it's pretty much a drop in the bucket for him. But
Yeah.
still, that's fucking nuts. He's really hurting the team too, because if he doesn't show up and he plans on still being the starting quarterback, then we're kind of fucked. What happens if he doesn't say he's going to be on any team?
Then he has from that time, the Packers have that time to not even so he has to for sure say he has to come out, and if that doesn't happen, the Packers right away have to try to lock in a number one quarterback position. So then they have to list a number one quarterback.
So they just have to list Love then if he doesn't say,
or any other quarterback. Yeah, so they'll have to lift Love, Bortles.
It'll probably be Love.
Actually, I honestly think it'll be Bortles just because of the age.
Really?
And then I have a feeling if we actually had Bortles to start, Love would just easily start because Bortles would suck.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of dumb though because Love is getting 90% of the practice snaps.
The only reason that is though is just because if we're being honest here, Love they ended up having Love created under a different offense. Same with Boyle. They literally, if you've ever looked, Boyle always had a play card sheet.
Yeah,
because he had certain plays that he was good at, and then Love they always created kind of a very mobile scheme for him. But they needed to try to teach Love more of the Rodgers scheme of things. Because the problem is, it's if you just have your very few sections of plays, and that not even the starters have really learned that much.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of need to adapt to the starters' plays.
Yeah.
Instead of them having to learn all the new plays.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of why they got 90%. And I would say that Bortles has been along around enough with Nathaniel Hackett to probably know every scheme. I mean,
yeah, maybe.
I mean, if you ever look at Nathaniel Hackett's offense against when he was in that what's it called Patriots Jaguars game, it looks it's crazy identical except for the run game, but the passing game looks crazy identical to what it looks like now in Green Bay.
Really?
Just there wasn't as much of the tricky, crazy RPO type shit.
Yeah.
That's all new. That's all the new hybrid crap, which is just insane how you come up with that in your mind. But
yeah,
now it's I mean the running stuff is kind of going to be hard for Love because when he was an RPO quarterback, his running stats were phenomenal, but his passing stats were very iffy.
Yeah.
Same with when he would try to sneak it, it'd be very dangerous. Let's say he would try to sneak it, he would actually leave himself open, and he would be able to take all these hits, and then all these hits just I mean, in the NFL, like you can take hits in college, but
Yeah,
start doing
yeah,
that in the
yeah,
NFL and your career is done.
yeah,
And so, I mean, they're trying to just teach them how to like honestly be a better and kind of
yeah.
more
Like
suitable player.
how to actually suit the Packers offense because they haven't really had much of a running quarterback before.
No, and
That's
that's
probably where they faulted with uh
Kaiser, Hudley,
yeah, Hudley for sure because he's the same
Hundley,
as
but
Love
yeah.
because they're trying to fit a running quarterback into a passing scheme and it just does not work out like that.
Actually, okay, this is a little off topic, but the Bobby Acosta guy, that coach camp I went to, he ended up coaching
Yes, yeah.
Brett Hundley, which is
Really?
Hundley, yeah. Which
I
I
got
thought
an
was,
Amber Alert for a 1-year-old.
ooh, that's probably some Mexican lady that decided to steal the husband's child.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it was some Mexican name. No shit. Oh god, I can't find it now.
It's sad when that happens, when the black and the
Yeah,
Mexicans fight over the child, and then one steals it.
yeah. I had my lifeguard training today for like I
Ooh.
had like a bunch of in-person training, and then we went over like when I first got there, we went over all like the medical stuff. See, there's like a bag full of like an oxygen tank and then masks for like hooking up the oxygen. It was all like easy stuff. And then we did a bunch of CPR. And it was honestly just like the most boring shit. But then it was really alarming because like we were doing the CPR and then he was talking about, yeah, he was like, yeah, last week we had to do CPR on some guy and save his life. And I was like, okay. And I was like, hopefully that doesn't occur too much. And then he just kept talking about them calling EMT. So I got to the point, I was like, how often do you call EMT, do you think? He was like, yeah, honestly, probably twice a week we call EMT. And I was like,
No.
no. And he said the main reason is because these people come up from like lower altitudes and then sit in like the 105-degree therapy pool and then just don't drink enough water and they pass out because not enough oxygen gets to their bloodstream. So then these people just have to get saved left and right. And of course, whenever someone passes out, you have to call EMT.
But isn't Glenwood Springs, isn't that lower than Denver?
Yeah, but then you still get like in Glenwood, you get tons of people coming from like Europe and like
Not
Florida
sure, yeah.
and stuff on their vacations over the summer. And he said that's over the summer though. So I bet like in the winter it's not as bad because there's less people. But when it's packed in the summer, like 2 a week is nuts. Like I'm for sure at some point gonna have to jump in and save someone, which I am not excited for.
I can't wait to when it's your next love when it happens. I'm just kidding.
And they said, and it's like you also for kids, you have to get parental like consent before you do anything with them. Like you could get them out of the pool and like save them, but like before doing like any kind of like if they're choking, before helping them at all or giving them CPR or anything, you have to get parental consent. Which is the most bullshit thing. So like imagine this like 9-year-old kid is choking and then you go over to the parent, you're like, do I have consent to help him? And then the guy actually said that some parents don't give you consent. They'll just let their kid like just sit there with like their stroke, just fucking dying. And they're like, you don't have consent to help my kid. And I'm like, that's the most bullshit thing. Like, imagine your kid just doesn't have enough oxygen, and you're like, yeah, we have an oxygen tank in the back. We could just hook your kid up to some oxygen real quick. And they're just like, no, my kid doesn't get any of your oxygen.
This is poor people oxygen.
I don't know. It's fucking crazy. And it's like imagine some like baby is choking, like an infant, and then you have to go up to the adult and be like, do I have consent? Because if you just start like helping the kid out and then the parent comes over and is like, you don't have consent, you could actually get in like a lot of legal trouble.
What? That's crazy though.
Yeah, it blows my mind. I'm like, why would you have to get consent to help a child that's like choking?
What age is it? Like
I think it's any child under parental care.
So like 8 and younger?
I think it would probably go up to like anybody under parental care, so probably high schoolers. But I bet
What?
it's 18 is when you could give your own consent.
No, because I bet you it's when.
18 is when you give consent
Okay, but
for
what happened? Okay,
that.
now let's think of this though. What if a couple 16-year-olds went to go swimming and they didn't have a parent there? And one of them started choking.
Then I don't know. One of the funniest things he said is that if you went up to somebody like an adult and they were choking and you were like, "Can I give you the Heimlich? Are you choking? Can I give you the Heimlich maneuver?" And they were like, "No." You have to wait for them to pass out because then once somebody is fully passed out, then consent is implied. And then you could help them. So if someone's choking, so I don't actually know what would happen in that scenario. If like kids went to the pool without their parents, I that's actually a good point. I bet you just it's one of two options. You start helping them or you wait for them to pass out and then you give them and then you help them out. Because once somebody is fully blacked out, then consent is implied.
What happens if they like start choking and you like didn't know beforehand that they just choked on like plastic and then now you're like doing the Heimlich while they're passed out and now they can't breathe the other way when they're passed out and then they end up just dying.
Well, you don't give someone the Heimlich when they're passed out.
Then what the hell do you do if they're choking?
If they're choking and they're passed out?
Yeah.
I mean, actually, maybe. Yeah. Well, then you start CPR. If they stop breathing and if they stop breathing and their heart rate stops, then you give them CPR. If they stop breathing and they're like, if they pass out and there's choking and like it doesn't get dislodged, then you start CPR. So it's like a lot of shit to remember. And I'm like, some dude will be like, and then it's like he was really nonchalant because we were working on saves as well, where you have to like jump at the water and help someone out. And then we were doing all this fancy stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, you don't really need to remember all this fancy stuff. It's just about like getting him to the side." he was like the most chill dude, and honestly, all the people that were lifeguarding there did not like. It didn't look like a crew of people that had to call the EMT twice a week. It just looks like a bunch of people just chilling.
Bunch of fat, overweight idiots. Oh, I'm just probably none of them are probably fat.
Yeah, it's just all that CPR shit. And he said that like if someone's having a seizure or something, then you just like roll them onto their side. You just let them do their thing.
I saw this video of this lifeguard. I want to say it was like in Sweden or Norway.
Yeah.
You know how like most people don't want like nowadays to do like the actual mouth to mouth, so they have like
you have like they give you like a little mask that you put over the person to breathe in.
Yeah, now there's this new like they had this like really quick individual plastic mask because it was like a mass pool where there was like crap ton of people swimming.
Yeah.
And they literally it was like this thing and it was like this big and it was just like all it literally looked like like those toilet paper things you put on a seat.
What?
You like those toilet paper thing like the if you're like too afraid to sit on a toilet, so you put like the toilet paper thing over the toilet.
Yeah.
It looked like that, but like plastic. And he ended up doing it, and then he like swallowed inward after, and and then he started choking.
What?
Yeah.
That's the dumb shit. The lifeguard swallowed in, or the guy that was passed out?
He had done it, like, and the guy was like already conscious now. So then he was like, he went to like breathe it, like, and then the thing was still stuck to his lip, and he didn't realize it. And then he sucked it in and started choking.
But then you could just like reach in and pull it out, though.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could have, but I did. But it ended up having to have like another lifeguard come over, and then like the video stopped. It's pretty funny, but
dude, all that shit, and then like I'm like honestly, the biggest thing is I feel like I'm just gonna be this most scared to blow my whistle because like there'll just be some kid like floundering on the side, and I'll be like, should I blow my whistle or not? I don't really know. Like I don't know if I want to alert everybody else.
Honestly.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'll probably just blow my whistle left, right, and center. And I mean, if I ever have to do CPR, I'll just call over someone else that knows what they're doing. I'll be like, does an actual lifeguard want to come help me? Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Any real lifeguards guys just wear the badge. And I was just kidding.
Yeah. And you know how at Waterworld in the big wave pool, how whenever they would have to save someone, they'd have to give them this whole like form and stuff once they got to the side. I still don't know what that was. Like he pointed it out to me. Like he was like, "Oh yeah," and then you got to give them this form. And I should have asked like, when do you give them the form? But like now I just don't know. I'm like, so do I? I think it's like an incident report thing. So like if a kid, I think it's mostly like if you have to save like a kid or something, then the parent has to fill it out or some shit like that. Or like maybe if like a kid's choking, the parent doesn't give them consent, and then you give them that like the incident report sheet. But there's so many convoluted things that are with lifeguarding that I still don't understand. And then next week I have to go in. Next week on Wednesday, the day before I go up to your house, I have to go do this whole training thing with like 3 other, because like it was just me and him there today. So we weren't able to do any of like the spinal injuries where you need to get out this whole like backboard and shit.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to go in with like when there's actually other people doing the training, and I need to do that next week for like another 2.5 hours. But honestly, it's way better doing it like how I am, because the way I was going to do it at that rec center before I threw up and shit, it was like 3 full days from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock. But for me, it's like it's like 2 days, but it's like 3 hours. So I don't know what the fuck we're skipping so much of.
So then after
I'm like, what? I think there's like a bunch of in-person classroom stuff, maybe, but I don't know.
Okay, I just said something really bad.
What?
I can like imagine like the first day you work in there. It's like a full lifeguard. Some like Muslim guy just comes in with a gun. And you're there and you're like, what the fuck? Like I don't even know how this flashed in my head, but
holy fucking shit. Oh my god, there was like a moth on the sliding door, and the cat was outside, and she jumped up like 3 feet and swatted at it.
Oh Jesus.
And now Ethan's out there grabbing it. And now he's flailing the cat. Stop! Stop! That's mean. He just started throwing the cat in the air like it was a fucking trophy after winning a competition. He was like, had the cat, and he was like, whoa!
Oh,
Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, now we're gonna do the lifeguard scenarios. Here we go. We got this game.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay.
You throw some snares at me. I'll tell you how I'm gonna solve the scenario or do the best I can.
Some kid goes down that slide. He jumps off intentionally and then snaps his neck. What are you doing?
Snaps his neck?
Yeah.
Well, I reckon I jump in because
you're gonna jump in the moving water on that water.
Yeah, I mean, like if the kid snapped his neck, there's like a higher. I'd rather try to help the kid that snapped his neck than just like get a couple scrapes on my legs. Like I'll probably jump in and then try to like grab him so that you probably. I think what you do when someone has a snapped neck is you go under their armpits and then hold their head like that and then put them on your chest. So then you keep your neck stable. So I'd probably try to do that. But I don't know. That slide's kind of tricky because you don't want to really hop in without any kind of tube because it's just like straight like grinded concrete so it's like nails.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just jump in and try to like hold him the best I can. I doubt I'd just like sit there and be like, see you later, buddy.
I would just fucking look away.
But the thing is, the only problem with looking away is that if a kid snaps his neck and you do nothing, you're at a lot of legal trouble.
He's already dead. Like there's no way of like.
Yeah, I mean, if the kid's already dead, then you still want to put some effort in because if you just sit there and do nothing and the parent sees you doing nothing, then you're going straight to fucking jail for not doing your job as a lifeguard.
Okay.
Because you could actually get in a lot of legal trouble for not doing anything. So I'd probably just put in a little effort, like try not to get too many scrapes, just like try to get them like to the end of the slide, and then I'd probably just dump them off to the lifeguard at the bottom of the slide and be like, "It's your problem now. The blood's on your hands."
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Okay.
Next one.
Let's go another one, Steinar.
The next one is you're walking around and you're doing like you know how like they always have to do like they have that one person that just kind of like goes back and forth.
Yeah, well,
And
like every once in a while you have to get up and then like walk around and stuff.
Yeah, that person. And then you just notice like in the hot tub, there's just like two people passed out. What are you doing?
Well, I'll probably blow my whistle and then call someone else over. I'll be like, "There's two people passed out." I'll probably run over there, grab the smaller person, like carry him out of the pool, and then initiate EAP, emergency active. You have to yell out something. They're like activating EAP or something. I don't know. I'd probably just jumble the letters and be like activating APE or something. I'll just jumble some random letters and then check for a pulse, check if they're breathing. Let's say they're not. You start CPR and then call EMT. Let's say they are. You just put them in like a little rest position so that they could just like rest up because they're passed out. Yeah, I mean, if there's two people passed out, you probably just want to call someone else over and be like, "Hey, a little bit of help here." But I mean, if there's nobody else in the area, get one person out, get the other out, and then hopefully somebody's over there by the time that they're done, or else you're gonna have to pick which one looks better.
Yep. Next scenario.
Steinar.
Now you got friendly fellas with you now.
What?
So we're get to the friendly fella situation. The
Friendly fellas. Okay, you could have just said that.
Yep, and one of them's a lifeguard also with you.
Okay.
And you know you're in like the deep end. You have your like little like ladder hut type thing. Like,
Yeah, you got your little hut.
Yep, and you're getting down, and then all of a sudden you trip and fall because you're clumsy at times. And you're staring at the honkers.
Okay.
But then accidentally, you try to support where you're falling, and you grab the honkers. What are you doing?
Well, the legend way to do it is be like you stand up, you give them both a little honk,
Honk, honk.
and then you wink, and then you walk away. But how I would do it is I'd probably be like, "Oh shit, my bad," and then go in for another squeeze and walk away. No, I'd probably just be like, "Oh, my bad. Yeah, let's forget about that one." But nice titties.
I'm seeing you grab down there, you're holding, you're like, okay, I'm done. You just stab your neck and fall into the pool.
You'd be like Andy from Toy Story. You're like, I'm done playing with you. I gotta say, at that pool, they have like 40 people hired. There's a couple of nice ones. I must say, there's a couple of chicky poos that would do the job.
I mean, there's plenty of honky to get done.
There's enough honky talk to get down to.
There's enough horns to honk. Oh.
Okay, give me another one, Steinar.
Okay, now this is a real serious one.
A real
this
serious.
would totally happen. So you're there, and I'm sure they have like a little bar there, right?
A bar. Well, they got some food. I don't know if they have a bar.
Do they serve alcohol?
Let's go with yes for this.
Okay.
No. I mean, there's probably some kind of alcohol somewhere.
Yeah, they probably
Whether you bring it or what.
They probably have like the 0.06 and below crap.
Yeah, I bet they have some kind of White Claw or something in the back.
Okay. Yeah, let's just say they have White Claw.
Yeah.
And you're walking by, and this guy's like, "Yeah, let's do a shotty for the boys." What are you doing?
Okay, this is real serious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
You're not doing a shotty with the boys?
No. I mean, would you?
I mean, the guy seemed pretty chill. I mean, like, why not, man?
Yeah, okay, Steiner, you think you're tough shit until it actually happens.
No,
and you probably.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't see any scenario where a random guy walks up to a lifeguard and is like, "You want to do a shot?"
I mean, I was watching a lot of Nelk Boys before this. And
That actually really puts the pieces together with the titty squeezing and now the asking for the shot. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
and yeah, it was pretty freaking funny. They had this one video where they like, I don't get how those people like don't like arrested in every state possible. It's like this one they did. They had like the McLovin fake
Oh
ID,
yeah.
and they went in and they actually bought like people like they went into Target and bought full alcohol. And then the guy's like in the aisle and he's like asking the person at Target, "What's good for like back reverse doggy style?" And I'm like, if I was asked that question and I worked there, I'd be like, I'm gonna just go kill myself.
Jesus Christ.
There's this other one too. It was like, oh my god, they were like in the middle of like a lecture in school.
Oh my god, yeah.
And they just took Coronas and they started opening them up and they're taking limes and they're like Corona time and they're all chugging.
I think I've seen that.
I think they got 4 or 5 down. And then they're like, he stands up and he's like, you know what? I'm just ready to get tanked. I'm sick of this whole school bullshit. I'm out.
How do these people get into random lectures like that? Like Juju did that one time. Like, how the fuck does that work? You just walk into a lecture? Hello?
No,
Steinar?
no, you cannot hear me.
You screen. Yeah, I can hear you. Your screen is all frozen. Now I cannot hear you. I go to flip it. Steinar Jonas. Oh, that's cool with minimal. That's way better. Oh, bubble's pretty small. I like that. I wish I could just do none. Well, we have technical difficulty. We wait. Oh, that was a fucking button this whole time. That's awesome. Let's create a banner. Let's see. Steinar, what was that all about?
Well, thank God, fuck you. But continue on with what were we saying with the lectures?
Like, I don't know how people just walk into a lecture like that, is my question.
The crazy shit is like, and it's not just like that. Like that's not even like the hardest shit that they do. Like there's that one video where they're like it's like the beer with no alcohol, but it looks like a real beer.
Yeah.
And they ended up like getting. I couldn't believe how like some officers are that chill. Like they just drove by this one officer. And he's like, "Yeah, I really don't want to write a DUI today. Just throw the beer out." I'm like, "What?"
Their fucking luck. Of course, it's just when they're doing a prank. That's not an actual scenario.
And then this other guy, he like told him it was fake beer and everything after the guy was like writing a DUI. I was like, okay, that's fine. You're good now. You're good to go. And he was like, hey, officer, can you just hold this for us? And it was one of like the party tubes of the phone. Yeah. And he's like, I just needed to hold this like this. And the officer actually held it while the other guy poured non-alcoholic beer.
That has to be fake. There's no way.
It couldn't have been. It was a full-on like officer in uniform. There's no way.
Fake that though.
I mean, it could, but it was one of those.
Way.
Either way, the officer's even cool enough to doing it fake.
It's not. They can just not be an officer.
Yeah, we had a full-on police car.
You can just get a fake police car.
Alex, you know how illegal that is to even have lights on a car? That's like not even a police car.
You know how illegal it is when they fucking were fake pilots at an airport?
Yeah, that was
that video. Did you show me that?
Yeah.
They were fucking drunk at an airport where they were pilots. Didn't they actually get on a plane or something?
Yeah. No. So here's what they did. They ended up like they all were like dressed as pilots, and then they ended up getting on an airplane at the end. And I think they were like They're like, oh, this is our way home. We're going home. We already flew out here. Now we're on our way back, and now's the time to get lit. We just came from Dallas, and we'll just say the pussy out there ain't too good. And I was like, holy shit! And the guy next to him is just like, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ. You gotta,
This
those
is-
guys are fucking crazy. I could never do that shit.
They met Donald Trump.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then I saw this other one. It was like, I want to say it was today. They like went into a liquor store to get like this new bad or good daddies or mad daddies or new hard seltzer. And this guy like in the middle of the liquor store, he's like, you know what? Let's do a shotty together. And so they like literally in the middle of a liquor store start shotting like liquor. And then this other guy asked him, and he's like, do you guys want to go do acid later? Who wants to do 5 hits of acid with me? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how are these people like not like?
How are they not in jail? Like, did they actually? I feel like one time they went to jail. Maybe
I know a couple of them are like still in jail.
Really?
The Nelk Boy Squad, yeah, there's like a shit ton.
Oh my god! There's no. Are they still on YouTube?
Yeah, and then they get hooked up every damn night. It's insane.
Damn,
like then this one,
they must have so much sex.
In this one video, they like this Indian guy that used to be like the cameraman, but now is like one of the Nelk boys. And they're like, we're gonna get our little Raji to fly with his little birdie. And then he ended up like throwing up. And they're like filming all this. And then the best one was like the Bigfoot one where they like tell this Bigfoot guy that Bigfoot's real. And they get this guy going like nuts. And it was really funny.
They actually get shitloads of views. They get like over 3 million views on like all their videos.
I know.
And they upload a ton. They must be making boatloads of money because it's shocking that they're only at 6 million subscribers. I feel like they would be at way more than that.
And they're drunk every goddamn day of their lives.
God, they must get so much pussy. Those guys are so cool.
Sam and Nash always wear Nelk Boys hats.
Of course they do. That's like the kind of shit that doesn't make me want to watch that stuff is because I know Sam and Nash will like for sure watch it.
But there's part of me that's like, it's still funny as hell because it's like so unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like it's funny to think like these people probably make millions of dollars every year.
Yeah.
They're being absolute idiots.
Make fucking boatloads. Like they probably do nothing too because they probably have probably have so many people hired that do all of the video planning. Well, they probably plan what they're going to do, but they have other people that edit the videos, make the thumbnails, do the social media, like all that stuff. Like they probably just sit back, relax, and just act in their videos and just make shitloads.
On some of their videos, like I actually think that's who they are, genuine people. Like
Really?
they actually seem like they're like that gift people.
Jesus Christ.
Like of all the shit I've seen, like I know one of them's gotten like sexual assault multiple times. And it's like that doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah.
Domestic, trespassing,
fuck them now.
Urinating on an establishment. Like
really?
Yeah, they have this one video. And they've like had videos like this where they try to get kicked out of places. And this one video, they actually like get into a bar.
Such a dumb video idea. Trying to get kicked out of places.
They try to get kicked out of 50 places.
What?
And so they go into this one bar, and these like people, like they're like throwing shit, and they're still not getting kicked out. Yeah. So the guy literally goes behind the freaking bar and starts drinking out of like the spigot of beer. Yeah. And then he gets like his ass real because he was like trespassing. There's like another charge, like with alcohol, and then there's another charge on top of that with like, and then he tried to give a beer to some other guy.
What? He tried serving beers from the bartender?
And then there was this one video where it was pretty funny. They were like, they have this one, the Indian guy, they call him Rafiki. Which is just a hilarious name. And they're like on this beach and they're just like actually drinking beer. Yeah. And they're like, what are you guys doing? You can't drink out here. It's no open bottle policy. And it was like some bullshit that it was like, and it ended up being a plastic bottle for their new drink.
Yeah.
But it was like there was like a prank they were doing. But then they were like, "Son, you look a little younger, underage to do this." And they're like, Rafiki here is from, or no, they're like, I mean, he's over 18, bro. And they're like, how old are you? And he's like 19. And he's like, oh shit, bro, no, it's 21 here in America, Rafiki. You got to know that shit.
In front of the officer?
Yeah.
Did they get fucking charged?
Yeah, I think so. They got in trouble. It was
How
pretty
many
funny.
fucking how many run-ins with the police do these guys have?
A lot.
It's such a fucking nuisance. Just
When you-
constant run-ins with the police.
When you come over, we're just gonna like binge watch now, boys.
Dude, I cannot stop thinking about going over there because
Honestly,
now, like,
that's
I'm kind of. It's like for the next whole like week. Like, how many days do we have? It's like less than. Is it less? It's a week now.
It's a week exactly. Yeah.
1 week. The next week is gonna suck for me because guess who's coming over? My grandparents.
Oh, not good.
And that's gonna mean board games. So I'm probably gonna be out of the house as much as possible. Whether that means golfing, which kind of sucks because they always walk with golfing. So I'll probably just go fishing 24/7. Like bike down to fish and then fish for like 5 hours and then come back. I am just not excited for that at all.
Speaking of the golfing thing, I just like have this like thinking like I keep feeling bad. Like I remember that guy asked me, he was like, are you one of the Ergmans? And I was like, yep.
Dude, I don't think they haven't asked about you at all. It's crazy how they just let that slide. Like they just did not care. And yeah, that was kind of bullshit, but it's kind of dumb having you pay. And we have other people on the family pass.
I was like, holy shit.
There's actually like they're having a little mini tournament August 2nd there for like 16 to 18-year-olds for 18 holes. So I'm like totally gonna do it. And then it's $10 to enter. And I don't know if there's a cash prize, but you do get a medal if you win. And I am not expecting to win. But I don't know. Maybe I do good, but I'm definitely gonna do it comes time.
I didn't tell you the newest is our coach for like the football team. He's
Yeah.
off the ante for the Cougar cards.
Oh boy, let's hear it.
So first place is like still the PS5.
Yeah.
Second place is like I think $100 cash.
Okay.
And then third is $50 cash and a box hat, or not a box hat. They call them
The fathead stickers.
no, they're like the Evergreen Cougar bucket hats. They made them.
Oh shit! Damn, Steiner, we got it. How many do you have right now stockpiled?
We don't. So the crazy thing is, they're gonna give it to us early. The kids that are in the weight room, because not everyone's going to the weight room.
Yeah,
they're gonna give it to us early. So they're gonna give us, I think they said tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so tomorrow, my idea is, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go into the high one instead of just selling them in the high one.
Yeah.
And then when you come, I'm gonna do here.
Yeah, me and you got to go out with the ATVs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then when you're gone, I'm gonna go down to Genesee and try to sell them there.
Really? Why would you try Genesee?
Because the thing is, most of the shits for like places down the hill and in Genesee, like the Chart House. Yeah.
How much is it? It's like $20 for what?
It's $35 now.
That is so much money. $20 was hard to get people roped into.
Now it's buy one get one free. K1 speed racing. Buy one get one free indoor skydiving.
Wow. I mean, I could probably buy one off of you because my mom will probably give me money for when I come over. So I'll just give you money for one if you need.
My goal now, like honestly, Alex, like I did the math on this. They're making a shit ton of money. Like even if we, because every kid's supposed to sell 20.
Yeah.
And if I did the math on that, that's $700.
If everybody did it?
No, if one person sells their 20, it's $700.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I think that's super ambitious. $35. Because what kind of because you're selling these to adults. What kind of adult's going to go indoor skydiving?
But then it's a free golf round at Evergreen. Like that right there pays for itself.
Really?
Yeah,
That is fully paid for. Yeah, I mean, that's true. You could pitch it to them as like, oh yeah, that's a free golf round, and you're supporting the high school. So yeah, I
I
mean,
got this thing all set up to. It's like on value. I actually did like some of the value, and honestly, like the K1 golf cart or the go kart speeding, like that thing is so expensive. It's $70 a person
really,
regularly, and so if
yeah.
you buy one get one free, you're saving $70 whole. Like that's a lot of money for that
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
And then they have like buy or they have it's like the buy two get season or two of the season tickets free for the Colorado Buffs game. That ain't
Wow.
no joke. Like that's actually
Yeah.
good. Um, get a free admission to the Air Force Museum. And they actually came up with like
Wait, is that all of it? Like you could, or is it just one of those things? Can you get
no,
like
it's all. It's all.
what? That is an insane deal.
I know. And then they had this other one that was like, buy one get one free water world. Like right there, that's like Waterworld. I know was like $30 a person for a day pass.
Yeah. Oh
And so
my
like
God.
like right
Jeez.
away, like that all pays for it. And I'm like, then I have an old Lobos card, and I'm gonna take a picture of that on a printer,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna compare it to ours. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
only got $25 worth of value on this card. Meanwhile, on this card, you got
You
over
could
three
add
hundred
you
dollars
could
worth of shit.
yeah, help you should add it all up and be like, honestly, if you used all of these, you would save yourself that amount of money.
And then the crazy thing is, because like the Cougar cards, because they're not cards this year, they're pamphlets. So you have like a golf token, which is what they're giving.
Yeah.
So you have like a golf token in one area. You have this like crazy ass looking like vinyl ticket that's actually like a full on ticket.
Yeah.
Then you have all these like what's another one they got? Oh, you know that Buffalo Bills museum? They did 2 tickets free.
Jesus Christ.
So it
Yeah,
comes
that's
with
an insane deal.
two actual like full on already tickets to
Does
go.
it have any like other bullshit things for like fast food? Like I know they had like the Subway shit last year.
No, they stopped and made it all expensive, like chart house shit. Like 10% off your meal at the chart house.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like, now they're thinking. Getting
Yeah.
there. But the
I
thing
wonder if
is,
that would work better than the other one would.
that's what I'm like hoping. And the other thing I'm thinking of was like, well, Conifer doesn't give all of it. Like legally, Jeffco is not. They usually don't allow things to not. They don't allow it to be selling until the 26th.
Yeah.
But because we're going through a different company and not like Jeffco is regular. Because usually Jeffco does like they do all the printing for Evergreen's cards and like Conifer's cards.
Yeah.
Like they're usually on like the same template, just different crap. But this year we're going through different. Like we're not going through Jeffco doing this,
Yeah.
so we can get them early, which is the 22nd. Which I was thinking, I'm like, I could go to Conifer, King Supers, and start selling there.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, we could do that.
But then I'm like, oh shit, if I get like confronted, I don't want to get my
Yeah.
ass beat up.
Imagine if you did that in like outside the Rockies game. You sold the Cougar cards outside the Rockies game. I mean, you get a lot of attention.
I did the math because he was like last year, kid sold 200. Because
Holy shit.
last year, if you sold 200, all you would get was a free Lobos card. Like that's not even good,
A free what?
or a free Cougars card.
That's not because I feel like they were giving away like a PS4 or something.
That what they said that the coach just said that they gave away a free Cougars card last year,
That's terrible.
and I didn't even do them last year. Like I think I came in so late,
Well,
I didn't even.
they
Sell
didn't
them.
even have it last year, did they?
I don't know. I just got told that they
I'm pretty
can
sure they
get.
didn't even have it last year.
But anyway, they were saying that like this one kid sold 200 of 20, and I'm like, if I sold 200 of 35, I did the math. That's $7,000.
Holy shit. Oh my
Like
god.
times 700. Oh, actually, this calculator doesn't work. 700 by 45 is how much?
700 divided by 45.
No, times 45.
Let me see here. $31,000.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. That's a lot.
I know.
Wow.
Versus 20.
I mean, yeah, it'll be harder to get people to buy it, I think. I don't think many more people will buy it because $20 was already a bit of a steep price to me for like just getting a couple little things, but $35 for a bunch of stuff that you like. I mean, the only thing that I ever really did in Evergreen that was on there would be like Waterworld, and it's about it on that card. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm intrigued to see like what is going to work better, or if it's just the sentiment of helping out the football team.
What I was also thinking about doing was like making full on flyers of like the whole this year's varsity football
Yeah,
schedule. So then I can schmooze them and I would be like, here's our varsity football schedule. And then actually, we're selling Cougar cards this year. Would you happen to like to buy a Cougar card?
I'll let you be the salesman, Steiner.
And then you could just join me and I'll give you a shirt to wear. I have
We'll see.
this
I
year.
have a bunch of Evergreen shirts, Steiner. I could wear.
I know.
Well, we
I
could do
actually,
it. We could do a little competition. You could sell. You could do half, and I'll do half. We could see who can
actually,
sell the most.
I'm asking. I told the coach, I was like, I think I can get like 60 to 100 done with Alex. Because I told him I
Yeah,
was going to be with you. And he's like, 60 to 100, that's really crazy. Like, that's really hard to do because we averaged last year. Everyone said that. Or you think he said, I don't know. I want to say he said last year, but I don't think he meant last year because last year we didn't have a full on.
yeah. There was no way we had. I don't. We did. We did not have Cougar cards last year.
Because he said 1 in 10 houses only bought Cougar cards.
Really?
But I think we actually averaged better than that.
I think so.
I think it was 1 in 3.
Probably. I mean, I'm interested to see who's going to be the better salesman, you or me.
Oh, I'm also thinking about like other shit. Like I was also thinking like my grandparents. They said if I needed money for football, so then what I might have them do is I'm gonna do 100. I'm gonna ask them for $100, and then I'm just gonna take $35 of it. And I'm gonna keep the rest. Actually, I'll probably buy myself one and then keep the rest. So like $30.
What are you going to use it for, Steiner?
$30, another buy, and I gotta get a bowling ball.
No, the fucking Cougar. You said you're just going to keep the Cougar card.
I mean, I don't know. I could probably use it for Waterworld. I mean, I might go
Well,
there.
couldn't you just get like a bunch of cards from the coach and then just like sell them all and then just keep the money and tell the coach that you never sold them?
No, because it's like every single one that they give you, they actually scan. Like it's a full-on enclosed coupon book. Like it's like I don't even know how to say it. It's like an actual like agenda planner. Like it's sealed and everything. So they scan it with barcodes.
Wait,
And then
but like, couldn't you just sell them all and then keep the cash yourself? And
but then if you because the thing is like when you sell them, they want us to like start this app on our phone that
yeah,
scans the barcode and then says if they did cash or check.
okay, you just say what they did.
Yeah, but then they would know
Oh
if they're
yeah,
in their pocket the
yeah.
money. They actually thought about this kind of toughly now. They
There's no
made
way
this.
to cheat the system.
I know, trust me, Alex. I thought about this. I was also,
I mean, that's like a Jesus Christ. I don't know if those are gonna sell as well.
but I'm thinking, I'm like, the other
That's
thing
just
is
like a little $20 card or $35 pamphlet of bullshit.
they also got this year's merch though, hyped as hell.
Really? Is it good? Because
They
last
got,
year was dog shit.
yeah, they have like those one jacket, like that one jacket that you could get your name on. This year
Yeah.
they have like full on Under Armour sweat, like the whole on like sweatshirt thing that I wear, like the like the little hand pouch thingy.
Oh yeah.
I wear those a lot, and instead of it, then it has like the right below the Under Armour, it has your name, and then it's got your number.
Oh,
And then they're doing,
so cool.
then they're doing blue and yellow like rain jackets through Nike.
Damn.
But this,
What is their logo that they're doing a lot this year?
oh,
Because I know last year it was like the football and then the little cougar on it, and it was really dumb. Like, what do their shirts look like mostly?
I probably have one that's clean. Actually, I might not. I'm looking. I have something in here. It's the. I'm trying to think of it. It's a. It's an old fashioned helmet logo
That's
for
pretty
like the
cool.
Cougars helmet with like a swoosh in it. Yeah, so they actually have like
Damn.
the helmet, and then it's got like the Cougar claw with then a swoosh coming down.
Ooh, I like old school logos like that.
It's actually kind of drippy looking, not gonna lie. And then if you look very finely in it, it actually is 21 into it. But it's crazy because it's like color
Ooh,
coded. So like
fuck! Why
unless you
couldn't they
actually
just
look
get that cool
finely.
shit last year?
Yeah, last year was like the horrible football with like the Cougar
It
face.
was so stupid last year.
It was
Damn.
like half football, half Cougar.
Yeah, that shit was really fucking stupid.
Yeah, and now they're
Oh
selling bucket hats. Like they never sold bucket hats last year.
no.
And then they have
Oh,
the other thing I'm trying to get is they actually are selling baseball caps this year, not the flat caps. The baseball
just like
caps.
the regular baseball ones.
Yeah.
Those are actually going back in style a lot. It's weird.
Yeah.
I cannot pull
I
one of
love
those
them as a
off though. I
style.
look like absolute dog shit whenever I wear one of those. Uh,
I actually want, and then you can actually get it customed. So I'd have like 16 on the side with the number.
damn. So 16 is just gonna be your number from here on out, Steiner. That's
Yeah, I'm not changing it.
nice.
Yeah. The coach already said I was like, now these all freshmen are gonna steal my number, right? He's like, nah, you got priority.
That's good.
I was
Oh shit, got some kind of
I was
values.
like actually he came to me, he was like, oh, you'd really improved in camp. You've made immense changes. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And I just walked away really awkwardly because he kept staring at me. And then
Yeah.
I brought up the Cougar cards thing, and then I like worried and rushed because he's like, "You need to actually sell them this year. Like you never sold them before for us." And I'm like, "Yeah, that is true, I guess." And he's like, "We need to get you on. Like, you need to be a pretty good salesman. You got to sell at least 20 of them." And I'm like, don't worry, I'll get 20 to 60, so I'll be with Alex. But I'm gonna miss the 22nd. I'm gonna miss the day you tell everyone about them. But I'll just get them early." And he's like, "Well, I guess." And I'm like, "Okay." And I was like, then I rambled on about the ATVs, and I was like, I mean, we got probably like 2,000 houses near me, so we could probably just get around. And I
Yeah.
just like started making up numbers because I was getting nervous.
2,000 houses.
I'm like, we do not have 2,000 houses.
That's a bit of an ambitious number, Steiner. 2,000 houses.
Yeah, I don't even know why I said it. I'm like, what the fuck am I? But I got so nervous because it was such an awkward conversation. I just started saying that.
Dude, I have so many
So now,
conversations like that because when Jerry came up to me, the guy that's always running the golf course, he was like, "Hey, playing in Soda Pop tournament," and I was like, "What the fuck did you?" I was like, "What did you say? What was that?" He was like, "The Soda Pop tournament." I was like, "What?" And it was, and then he pointed at the thing, and I was like, "Oh, that makes sense." And like, I've had so many moments like that where these old people just like mumble shit. Now I have to ask them what they're saying like 5 times, and then they'll get like really incensed with me. I'm like, "Sorry, I'm hard of hearing." And then
oh
I'm
yeah,
just
I feel that.
okay. Well, we're gonna end the broadcast here.